to do now is turn that rig over 3 or 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start feeding again. And what I like to do is to ping a few, just turn the rig over once, trying to look for that. Turn the rig over once again. And then if I don't get any bites this time, now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to feed for a couple of seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really using that float and the bait to make the noise. Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I don't get one straight away, what I'm going to do is feed. And then just one. So I'm really working hard, bringing the changes, trying to get those odd bites. One flick again. The reason I do tend to turn my rig over more times when I'm not feeding is because I want the fish to come to that one pellet that I've got on the hook. Quite often when you loose feed and turn your rig over once, you do get bites like that, but most of your bites will come in that little lull of feeding when you've turned your rig over 3 or 4 times. And the reason for that is purely because your bait is the only one there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that a couple of times and the bites will be instant if you do get one. Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then loose feed and just one. You can vary it. You know, the good thing is if you go practicing and you catch a few fish, you might come up with, you know, different variations that really work for you. Always want to experiment. One little tip, if you see any fish move, little rings or a swirl, it can be really good just to not feed for a few seconds and just turn your rig over, because there's obviously a fish there. And like I say, quite often if I see a sign of a fish, I won't feed, I'll just turn the rig over, trying to get the fish to really come to my hook bait. And the beauty with fishing the pole shallow is you can make noise whenever you want. You can tap, you can turn your rig over, you can loose feed very accurately. And it really is a deadly method when the fish will come into that range. But you can see all the time I'm working. Oh, looked like a bite. I flew under as soon as the pellet hit the water virtually. Now I've just seen a little ring of a swirl there, so what I'm going to do is really try 3, 4. And I'm not going to feed because there's obviously a fish there. There you go, and we've got it. Absolute perfect demonstration of what to do when you see a sign of a fish. And it's something that a lot of people don't look for. I'm constantly looking for signs of fish, and what happened there was I was loose feeding, turning my rig over, and just about a foot past my pole tip I saw a little ring of a swirl, and that obviously gave me the heads up that there's a fish there. I stopped feeding, turned my rig over, my pellet is the only pellet that's there, and within seconds we're into our 3rd fish of the day. It's going a little bit, but again, you've got a nice long bit of carbon in your hand, so what you can do is use this opportunity to feed. Nice and accurate. It's beauty with those 8mm, they go in nice and accurate. And just keeping the pole nice and low while this fish is running off.